Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Tuesday the 11th of June. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Things have changed, haven't they, today? We've got a front coming into the west. It's been producing some outbreaks of rain. Gone is the dry and largely sunny weather for most of us that we've enjoyed over the last week or so, and in comes the more unsettled conditions. Now, we'll get into the forecast in just a moment, but just a reminder, the site's kept free of charge by you coming back and using the site and using the adverts. That's what generates revenue that keeps us free of charge, so thanks for doing that. Now, as you know, the weather wolf Freddie is attuned to sniffing out rain, and that's exactly what he's done across southern England during the next 24 hours or so. The reason he can sniff that rain is because of a jet streak that's going to go through the southern parts of the UK over the next 24 to 36 hours. This is the 500 millibar flow chart from weatheronline.co.uk, and notice this area down here where the height lines become close together. That's a jet streak just in there. This is the chart for midday on Wednesday. You notice that the streak is kind of in there like so. Knock it on by 6 hours, and this is 6 o'clock on, or rather 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening, and here is our little jet streak. Look, still in there, centered through here, and then watch what happens as we get 6 hours later. This is midnight. Here is our jet streak once again, look, and there it is blowing through here. And it's that that's going to produce rain tomorrow, some pretty hefty bursts of rain. Now, the UK is just underneath here. This is the... I'll just draw the outline there for you so you can get yourself familiar with it. Look, there's the south coast. Here we are coming down through Wales, up into western parts of Scotland there, look, and there's Ireland. Just want you to be familiar with that as we go through the next few charts. Now, this is the rainfall from the UK Met Office High Resolution model, valid until 7 o'clock, from 1 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. Notice the bits and pieces of rain across western Wales, northwest England, most of that just showers, but the more persistent rain up here across Scotland. Now, this is rainfall between 4 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock in the morning, and what I want you to notice is this feature down here, and the outbreaks of rain here, and also the outbreaks of rain here across Scotland. Because by midday, look, we've got this extension of this moderate rain coming into northwest England across many parts of Ireland. Rain by then starting to clear from the far north of Scotland, but just look at this rain that gathers down towards the southwest. Remember our little jet streak? Yep, you remember it, don't you? That was streaking through here like so. Well, there is the rainfall associated with it. And then by, this is the period from 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Look, here is heavier periods of rain. Could be some really wet weather crossing southwest England tomorrow, and also for the north and the east of Ireland. Just look at that area in there. And of course, where was our jet streak? It was here, I tells you. And then the period from 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Wednesday up to 7 p.m. on Wednesday evening, the rain is transferred across East Anglia, parts of the southern Midlands, central southern parts of England. These are 15mm 6-hour totals here across southern parts of England. Also our little streak here through Ireland, southern parts of Scotland, we've got 18mm of rain, so it could be up to 20 over southwestern parts of Scotland. Interesting to know that in between these areas of rain, look, it is actually generally dry, although always some outbreaks of rain affecting western parts of Wales. But I just wanted to show you that because the effect of that jet streak moving through that helps generate this rainfall. Now, the weather over the rest of the week is just an absolute mess. Trying to pin it down and trying to get some accurate forecasts in there is really difficult. Probably just best to say it stays fairly unsettled. But what about the longer term? Well, I've been looking at that, and it's hinted, or at least there are some hints coming in from the long-range forecast from the ECMWF on the left here, and this is the GFS on the right. These are the 7 to 10 day means of the 500 millibar flow, and these end next Friday the 21st. So what you can see here, look, is both have got the jet stream coming in across the Atlantic. So we've got one there and we've got one there as well. However, the subtle difference between the two is that the ECMWF keeps the jet going to the north of Scotland, whereas the GFS makes it a weaker affair. But both of them, look, have on them these troughs, one here and one here, with a ridge building out in the Atlantic. Now, the effect of that ridge is that it pushes the air up to its north, So we get air coming around the north, and then that sinks in and feeds the trough that's here, and that strengthens off the trough. Now, some of these models are developing that into a cut-off low and sinking it into central parts of Europe. And actually, I think that's a reasonable solution, which would then pull the flow around more into a north or northeasterly direction. Now, what that would do is that we'd see pressure building towards the north. We'd have an east and northeasterly flow towards the south. We might get some thundery rain for a short time as we head into the back end of next week, into the beginning of the week after. But the overall effect, and let me just turn this around, would be that we would go into this dry period at the end of the month, early July, that I've been hinting at. Although I still think those southern parts of England could see some rain at times. Now, this is the CFS forecast for week 1, taking us to the 16th of June. And what this has got is this trough out in the Atlantic through the UK. We've got low pressure in here, so it confirms this idea of a mixed bag of weather. I mean, it's going to be a messy weather picture. Hints of some heavy rain, possibly Sunday into Monday, Tuesday of next week, but it's really hit and miss as to whether that comes off. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But week 2, look, this is 17th to the 23rd, and what this is highlighting is the trough down through the British Isles, high pressure to the west, high pressure to the east. Now, this would be a getting better sort of week. So we'd perhaps start off fairly unsettled with outbreaks of rain or some showers around, but then as high pressure builds in, so the weather would settle down. So let's take a look at week 3, okay? This is week 3, 24th of June to the 30th of June. And it's just interesting to see, look, this high anomalies here, these higher than normal anomalies. So the CFS trying to build pressure in across the UK and into Central Europe during this week. Now, week 4, look, really goes to town on this idea of the above normal heights through Europe and through the UK, putting the high across the top of us. And notice it split the trough. We've got a section here to the north, a section here to the south. Now, again, this is looking absolutely feasible to me, that what we could find is that we get that ridge build in across the UK. We get a cut-off trough going south into Europe, and we develop an easterly flow across the south of the UK, occasionally pushing some thundery rain in, but for most, it could be still. This is still backed up. The end of June into the early part of July is backing up to be dry. Now, what I haven't done yet is gone onto the analogues and taken a look at what previous years have been like, but I'm going to do that in the next 24 hours or so, and I'll bring you the up-to-date information on that too. But it's just interesting to see how we get in this pattern through here of this dry weather still being backed up towards the end of the month into the early part of July. Right, I'm going to stop rabbiting on now. Hopefully that's been useful for you, and thanks again for watching. Remember, we're kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen and by you telling your friends about WeatherWeb. That all helps generate revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.